All right, let's get right into it. When we think about Shaytan's influence, we often picture something really big and dramatic, right? But the truth is, it's much, much more subtle than that. It's not a shout, it's a whisper. A quiet, step-by-step process that feels so much like our own thoughts, we might not even notice it's happening.
And that's really the heart of his strategy. It's a slow burn. He doesn't show up with some grand, evil plan laid out. No, he just comes with a tiny suggestion, a little nudge, and that's how it starts, growing over time, until you look in the mirror and think, wait, who is this? It's that gradual nature that makes it so incredibly effective and so sneaky.
So, the big question is, how does this actually work? What's the playbook? Well, we're going to break down the 7 levels of his entire method. Because once you understand the blueprint, you can start to recognize it. And even better, you can learn how to fight back.
Okay, so the first phase, it isn't some all-out attack on your belief. That would be too obvious. It's way smarter than that. He starts by targeting the foundation, your actions, your day-to-day habits of worship.
It all begins right here in your Salah. Think about it. The last time you prayed, was your mind 100% there? Or did it drift off to that work email you forgot to send or that argument you had yesterday? That's level 1. The goal isn't to make you stop praying altogether. Not yet. It's just to turn that beautiful, spiritual connection into a totally mechanical ritual. Your body is there, going through the motions, but your heart, it's somewhere else completely. And this isn't just a feeling we get, it's a confirmed tactic. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, described this perfectly. He said Shaytan literally comes and steals from your prayer. And that's his first little victory, making you stand before Allah, seeking closeness, but having you walk away feeling even more distant than when you began.
So once your prayer is just a habit, moving to level 2 is almost effortless for him. The whispers change a bit. Now they sound like, hey, you can pray later, you're super busy right now. Or, don't worry, Allah gets it. And it sounds so reasonable, doesn't it? And just like that, the prayer that used to be the anchor of your day slowly becomes an afterthought, something you just try to squeeze in.
The Quran itself warns us about this exact state. This verse from Surah An-Nisa just perfectly captures the result of those whispers. It's not just about pushing your prayer back by an hour. It's about changing your entire attitude towards it, from something you look forward to something that feels like a heavy burden.
You can see how this is escalating, right? So after weakening your prayer, the next move is to make smaller sins feel, normal. This is where the justifications kick in, with whispers that reframe everything. Things like, come on, it's not that big of a deal. Or the absolute classic, literally everyone else is doing it.
And this is his signature move, laid out for us right here in Surah Al-Baqarah. He makes sins seem logical, almost necessary. And that guilt you used to feel, that little voice that acted like your spiritual immune system, he rebrands it. Suddenly, feeling bad about a sin means you're being too strict or judgmental.
And now, we shift into a much more dangerous phase. See, after chipping away at your actions, the focus goes deeper. It shifts inward. It's no longer about what you do, it's about poisoning what you believe and how you feel about Allah. And this might be his cruelest move of all. After whispering to you that Allah is forgiving so you'll commit a sin, he does a complete 180. The whisper changes. It becomes, you've gone too far now. There's no way Allah will ever forgive you for that. He uses the very sin he led you to as a weapon to sever your connection to repentance. It's a brutal bait and switch.
But right here, in Surah Az-Zumar, is the perfect antidote. This verse is a direct, powerful shutdown of that whisper. It's Allah saying, no matter what you've done, do not despair. I forgive everything. So you see, despair is one of Shaitan's greatest weapons, which means hope in Allah's mercy is one of our greatest shields.
So after trying to poison your relationship with Allah, the next target is your relationships with people. And this isn't random, it's strategic. Because if you feel disconnected from God, you're way more vulnerable to feeling resentful towards others. It starts with just a tiny seed of comparison. Hey, why did they have that and you don't? And that little seed gets watered with more whispers until it grows into full-blown envy, bitterness, and eventually broken relationships.
Now this next one is incredibly subtle, because it's not a direct attack on your faith, but on your hope. The whispers start to question the whole point of making dua. Thoughts start creeping in like, is Allah even listening? Or, look at your life. You keep asking, but where's the help? It's designed to slowly erode your connection, one unanswered prayer at a time.
And this comparison just lays out the battle perfectly.
On one side, you have the clear, absolute promise of Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah, I am near, I respond. But on the other side, you have that nagging whisper of doubt, designed to make you let go of that rope of hope. Because without hope, you stop asking. Your dua becomes empty words.
And this all leads to his endgame. The ultimate goal here is to cut your connection with Allah completely. And the way he does it is through this grand deception, where rebellion is repackaged as liberation, and abandoning faith is sold to you as being more authentic. The whole point is to make you believe that faith is the source of your problems, not the solution.
But here's the final, mind-blowing twist, described for us in Surah Ibrahim. On the Day of Judgment, Shaytan himself is going to stand up and make this incredible admission. He'll basically say, look, I didn't have any real power over you. All I did was invite you, and you chose to accept. And that just reveals the ultimate truth. At every single one of these levels, the choice was always ours.
Okay, so we've just gone through the whole 7-level strategy. And I know, that can feel a bit heavy, but knowing the playbook is only half the battle. So now, let's pivot to the solution. There's a clear 4-step defense we can use to fight back against these whispers.
First, you have to name it. Just stop and ask yourself, wait a second, is this thought actually helping me, or is it pulling me away from Allah? Second, seek refuge. Actually saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim out loud, which means, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan, is like putting up a verbal shield. Third, take immediate action. Do a good deed, right away, even a small one. A distracted prayer is 1,000,000 times better than no prayer at all. And finally, focus on consistency. Small, daily good deeds build a fortress around you that's much, much harder to break through.
All right, let's bring this all home. Because after hearing about all these levels, it's really easy to feel a little overwhelmed or discouraged. But there is such a powerful message of hope in all of this.
Just let that sink in for a second. The very fact that you worry about this stuff, the fact that you feel resistance, that you're concerned about these whispers, that's not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign of life. It's proof that you are still in the fight and that your faith is alive and kicking. Honestly, Shaytan doesn't waste his time whispering to a heart that's already given up.
So here's the most important takeaway from all of this. That little pang of guilt you feel when you mess up, that's not proof you're a bad person. It's proof that your spiritual heart is still beating. It's a vital sign. It's a sign that your conscience is working, a sign that Allah hasn't given up on you, and it's the perfect motivation to turn right back to Him. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you can see the playbook, now that you can recognize the levels, which whisper in your own life are you going to identify and start to silence starting today?